Okay, question number 25. Right, so this is what you did. Right, what's wrong with this? It's not enough because how many axes of symmetry are there? Well, there's 1 and 2. That's pretty much it. We need 4 though. So the best way to do it would just be to do this. This does not look perfect, but you get the point. And this as well. So that makes 4 axes of symmetry. So to do that, we need to cover this as well. Oops. Also this, and this. So in total, what is that? 7 times 3 is 21, which is E. Right, next question. Right, so a tour from A to the zoo, to the port and back to A is going to take 10 minutes. This one is going to take 12 minutes. This one's going to take 15 minutes. And this one is going to take 13 minutes. Right. Let's see what happens if I add 10, 12, and 13. Those are basically the tours for A to the zoo to the port, back to A. Right, this, here, and here. If I add 12, I'm going to take this into the root as well. Sorry. This, like this, and this. This is 10 minutes. Then this would take 12 minutes. And this should take 13 minutes. All right. But I don't want all of this stuff. I just want this to go to A, from A to B to C and back to A. So this is all I want. What does that mean? This part over here is extra, right? Like, that means if I remove this, and this, I basically get the blue triangle, right? But how do I remove all these 3? Well, you could, because these 3, this tour is 15 minutes long. So it's kind of the same as saying to get from A to B to C and back to A, basically the blue triangle, what do? You add 10 plus, 10 plus 12 plus 13, right? And then you just subtract the inner triangle, which is 15. What does that give me? 20 minutes. No, 20 kilometers. So this is right. Is that okay? So basically all you need to do is if you add this root and you add this root and you add this root, that is 10 plus 12 plus 13, which is 25. And then I subtract this root, the one in the middle, which is 15, I should get 20, which happens to be the same as A to B to C and back to A. All right, so that's why it's 20. All right, for this question, you can only move right, left, up, and down, right? Okay, so this option B, is the only way you could do that because this is the only figure that can get out of gate G, because he could do this. He could like I don't know, he could like do something like this, right? But like how is he gonna fit, right? Because he has like an extra thing over here. Yep. Okay, so he just basically approaches from wherever he goes, and then he goes up, and then up, and then up. And you might think like, okay, but this part doesn't fit because if he can't go up anymore, but he can just shuffle along to the left, and then he can move up, and now he's finally up. Yep, so this is why B is the only figure that could leave. All right, is this the last question? No, it's not. Okay, so for this one, right, so each shelf is 64 deciliters. So that's why 4 small plus 3 large, right, is 64. And then 3 small and so on. Basically, I just put it in like algebra form. Yep, because there are small, medium, and large bottles. And then, yeah, each shelf is 64. That's why it's all 64. So we're supposed to find like the value of M. Right, so how do we do that? The fastest way would probably be to do this. Right, this over here is 64, which means if I take 3s plus 2m, that is 32. So I could replace this with 32. That means 2L is going to be 32 as well, which means L is equal to 16. So if L is equal to 16, how do we find S? How do we find M? All right, so if L is 16, 3L over here is going to be 48, which means 4S is going to be 16. That means S is equal to 4. Right, so if S is equal to 4, this is going to be 24, and that means this is 40, which means M is equal to 10, because 4M is equal to 40, so M is equal to 10. Yep, which is correct.